You might not get crazy, but switch this to multi-stream. Go and turn that music off so we don't get fined on some bullshit.
Oh, wow. We play elevators like how many times?
Yo, but when nobody tripping, elevators was knocking.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
Knocking. What's up? We just out here? Look at you. You like, don't fondle me in public. Low, what's good, boy?
Robert Brown. Hey.
That's low, boy.
Hey, Lo.
All right.
I'm ready when you're ready.
That's what the fuck I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. Bring that up. Drop that down. Let's do it. All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I'll be your host, Uncle Legend. With me, as always, is my beautiful co-host, called Girl 6, better known as Fox.
Hey, y'all.
Getting compliments. She already
I know. You make me blood.
young
Like,
and
hey,
beautiful.
Okay.
She'll
Oh,
find
that's
ass
right.
out my face.
You sure you want that?
You can't never get away from me. Your soul will be never at rest again. Never at rest again.
So, what are we talking about today?
I got a whole executive producer.
So, well, I had a request for us to talk about. These are my learned from, bruh.
Hey.
I had a request to talk about side chicks. However, I want to also talk about past lives.
All right. So what you want?
To talk about?
What you want first?
Probably the past lives first. Probably do that and then talk about the side chicks later.
Because you know when we get on side chicks, gone. All right. Well, I mean, navigate it up on the past lives because I am getting no such thing as a side chick.
No such thing.
Oh no, you stay on, bruh. You stay on because we
There
about
are
to talk
such
about
things
this.
About side chicks.
We
Black
gonna
men
talk-
don't cheat.
No, not for black men. No, because we don't cheat. But we talking about we got to speak for all men because
Yeah.
black men don't cheat. Obviously. We don't do that type of
They
shit.
might want us to jump into that first then. So you want to jump into the side
You still
chick?
gonna have the heat for past lives?
Of course I do. That's my
All
chance.
right, well,
I
so
will.
if we're gonna talk about side chicks, we're gonna talk about side dudes too. Look
Sure.
at the homies in it. Look at the homies in the chat.
Okay,
Black
go.
men don't cheat.
Yeah, said the cheater. Of a
No,
man.
black boys cheat. I was a boy back in them
Oh,
days. Back when I was
okay.
cheating on the women, I was a boy.
You was a boy.
But
You a
I was a man.
You a man now?
I was a man.
Okay.
Ain't no more.
Ugly men can't cheat. Wow, y'all doing?
Hey,
Y'all really doing it up here, huh? In the
hey,
chat.
the homies is out here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I'm
my
medium
God.
handsome though. I could cheat, but I can't because I'm a black man. When I was a boy,
Mhm.
I could have been doing that cheating. I can't speak for everybody else. You know
Thank
what I'm saying?
you, Cap.
No, he's talking about Cat for Wick.
What?
He ain't talking about it. Because Will know I'm medium handsome. He's seen me in person. He know I'm medium handsome. You know what I'm saying? But so all right, so you talking people just want to talk about side chicks. If we're gonna talk about side chicks, we gotta talk about side dudes too.
That's fine. We can talk about side dudes too. I know
Cooking.
you feel like you want to defend y'all rights. and
No,
everything.
I ain't got to defend us from side
You know.
chicks. It's like they serve their purpose.
So laughing. They serve their purpose.
They serve their purpose.
So the question came in about side chicks and asked if we were able to, just kind of want to speak on that. Why is it that they do what they do? And I was like, well, first of all, I'm not a side chick, okay? I am the chosen one, so I'm not a side chick.
Oh, cue,
So
cue
Q
Bruce
Morgan,
Leroy.
Q Morgan.
Cue,
Okay?
cue Bruce
I'm
Leroy
not-
effects right here. Wait till I get my special effects game down.
I am the chosen one, but so I can't really speak on side chicks and what they think about when they side chicken, you know. So I can't do that. But I just know he said cue the what? Cue the music, yeah.
Cue the music.
Yeah, so but I can tell you just because I knew a few side chicks and there was a
Watch the company you
situation.
keep.
Right, that's why we don't keep companies any longer.
Chicken,
okay?
chicken, chicken. Yeah.
That's why we don't keep companies any longer. But anyway, if I did kept company regardless, like no one's gonna sway me to do what they do. If
No, because you love your life. Because you love your life. You love your life.
And I don't have to lie anyway. I just feel like I'm 100 to the best of my 100ness will allow me to be. So we still in drinks now. You gonna make it even?
Talking.
You just gonna make it even?
I just want us to be equals,
Okay.
baby.
Okay. So stop pouring you more than mine out of my
No,
own
you
cup.
got more.
Don't play with me. Anyway, so but basically, let's talk about how do you know if you're a side chick?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not about to Black Forces says into the chat.
Let's talk about
But
how do you know.
This is what I'm gonna
when
say
you're
about
a side
you know
chick.
you a side chick. Like you know you a side chick. Like women got women's intuition. So if we just get into the science of it, right? Let's just talk about the difference between men brain and women brain. Men, we can compartmentalize things and be like, yo, all these other rooms on fire. I got this, that, and the 3rd. Women can't think about one thing, and I'm not saying like y'all incapable of. It's just that y'all have the capacity of connecting everything. Like if you thought about men's brains look like a room with a bunch of boxes in it. So it's like I'm in this box, I'm playing 2K or whatever video game I play. I'm in this box, I'm working, I'm doing this and that. I'm in this box, I'm playing with the kids. I'm in this box, I'm with the wife. I'm in this box, I'm out here tripping. Now when women, it's like that's just like spaghetti, everything touching. So it's like that's how women get to a point where they like, oh, because you know what, in the subconscious mind, y'all be looking and it's like, he looked at that girl and she his type. I feel something. And then he'd be like,
Wrong. It's not even like that.
no,
too much.
no, because y'all be sitting there and be like, oh, he looked at that girl, something. And then like a dude to say something about a girl and be like, oh yeah, such and such. You be like, yo, who's that? Or something happened, or you'll take a note of something. And it's like, okay, cool. 9 years later.
The mental notes. Let me tell you about
9
the mental
years
notes,
later,
okay?
you know what I'm saying?
Don't forget it.
Yeah, and that's a fact.
Ain't
Like
gonna
Wick
forget
said,
it.
men think linear. We go from boom. This is how we get from point A to point B. Women go, hey yo, A, Q, Z, R, back there, J.
But it all comes right there in the middle.
Yeah,
That's
it
in
do
a
come
point.
back. So I mean, that's why I don't even understand why law enforcement like ain't hiring women at a high rate of just like, yo, we need detectives for murder homicide. Just hire women. They don't need no prior experience. They women. Like they literally just tie all that together. So for you to tell me that I know when a man did this, I know when my kids did that, I know when I felt this, the ancestors told me how much salt to put in the chicken, and then you gonna tell me I ain't know I was a side bitch? Like, so you ain't know when you said, hey, let's go out at 11 o'clock, and you got left on red?
Yeah, you got left on red.
So you telling me, when you sitting there, you like,
you only get called certain times of the day.
you don't
know,
never
certain times
get
of
that.
the
Like
day.
if y'all traditional and y'all Christian, it's like you don't never see him on the holiday.
Yeah.
Like you can't see him on the 24th and the
Yeah.
25th. You see him on the 26th.
Yeah.
You know why
See
the
him on the
26th?
26th.
Because it's like I done did all my manly duties. I'm gonna step out. She like, see, he had to come. He had to work on Christmas. He worked for the post
The
office.
excuses
That
that they
motherfucker-
give you. One of the telltale signs, the excuses that they give you. You
It's-
feel it anyway in your
You
gut.
know.
So you already know.
So when women be talking about some, I ain't know I was a side chick. It's
feel
like,
like-
now you got dudes that cap about saying somebody's side chick. Like you got like the baby. When the baby was like, yo, she a side chick. You know nothing side chicks, bro. Like that ain't what you do. You don't have whole babies by side chicks and be kicking.
Yeah.
You ain't on Instagram Live with a side chick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
so
that's
y'all
wild.
not really occasion like that in public places. Y'all might go to a little hole in the wall, little thing,
Yeah,
something like that.
and you're not going nowhere public. You're not going nowhere crazy public. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna go to the mall with your side chick.
Yeah.
Like especially if you in a small town, you're not gonna go to the mall with your side chick because you're gonna go to the mall with your side chick, and if your girl don't see you, your girl home girl see you, one of these slew-footed ass home girls, she got something like that sitting there, ain't got
And
nothing better to do. But
that's in any relationship too, even in poly relationships. You know, it's the same thing too. Like
yeah, cheating is cheating.
Yeah,
like cheating
you're
is whatever you cheating is whatever you got going on.
Yeah, if you can't be seen with that person, or that person doesn't know that you are actively doing something with this person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like you're talking about in the mall or whatever, and your wife don't know you in the mall with X
Yeah.
whoever it is, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, you on the phone, you don't know you on the phone with that person. That's a problem.
Yeah, like
you get
you
hung
don't
up on, and then the phone, like, what happened to the phone? Oh, my battery died. No, your battery ain't died. Wife
Yeah.
just walked in. That's what it really was.
Yeah, and it's kind of like,
And she don't know about y'all.
and but the
She
crazy
don't know
shit
y'all
is
on
it's
the
kind of
phone.
like, and even like that type of stuff happens where batteries down, stuff like that. But it's kind of like, yo, if you don't get no call back, if you never talk to the dude during certain circumstances or something like that, like if he got even if it's a poly relationship and the dude, he got an old lady, he should be able to be on the phone with you and talk to his old lady. Something like that else is probably not valid. You know what I'm saying? And
it's
vice
not
versa.
valid,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like if a woman is a poly relationship and she's willing to talk to people, they just polyamorous. It's like you should be able to talk. And I come around and it's not like, shit, I'm about to eat my phone. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Now you over
But
here.
people do that though.
Yeah,
People
because
they
that's
hang
cheating.
up the phone and they do all kind of stuff to prove, you know, for whatever the reasons is. I don't know what the reasons would be for them to do that, and they make it appear to be something else. So I feel like that's
Yeah,
a form
but-
of cheating because you're not really being honest.
Yeah, and
to
that's some
let the
gaslight
person know
type
that
shit.
you're on the phone with whoever it is that you're talking to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
So what I'm gonna say is like you said, like how you know you're a side chick. You know you're a side chick. Like why is you trying to gas yourself up to be something that you ain't? It's like you ain't never been nothing that you want to do, so now you just think that you that important. It's like this is one thing about most dudes that be side dudes. They play their role. Dudes is role players. Like, you know what? Hey, dude, understand, I'm not Jordan. I'm Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? I'm Scottie Pippen. I'm not Jordan. Jordan, you take care of you deal with all the stress. But I think that from a perspective of, I imagine that women like being side chicks. Some women, obviously. And if
some women do.
And if you about to say like, oh, well, not all woman, you listen to the wrong podcast because I don't care about your feelings. Fuck your
Some
feelings.
women do.
But it's the same reason that dudes want to be, because it's like I get the benefits without any of the, and I feel like I get the benefits without all of the slack that you got to have with a real relationship, the work. You ain't got to do the work. It's kind of like I'm just coming to reap the rewards. It's like I ain't reaping what I sow. Somebody else sowed this and I'm just showing up for it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's the same thing with dudes, but I think realistically, I feel like women reap more from it. Because what happens a lot of times is that for men to show that they like a woman, they usually got to spend money. All women got to do is open their legs. They don't call something. They don't got to go out and work for that. That's literally
Or
come
green in your face.
Yeah, grin, you know what I mean? Grin.
open
It's
legs
like
all the
she show
time.
your teeth, she show your ass. You know what I mean? Like Granny used to say. But what happened is like men that have to do that. So as a woman is a side chick, it's like you sitting there dealing with a man. It's like you don't got to deal with his dirty drawers. You don't got to deal with his bad moods and all that shit. It's always honeymoon phase. Right, so it's like you always dealing with honeymoon phase when it's a side chick. And
Now with that, so you know how some relationships, right, monogamous relationships, they may fade away on that same notion right there. On that same
I'm not sure what you're saying.
You use. So
like, cook a little more.
So if you have someone that you're seeing on the side, or whatever, or maybe it's not even in a monogamous relationship, in a poly relationship too.
Whatever,
you
a
have
relationship.
someone you're seeing on the side, and because you're not with them every day, you don't know the shits that they have, you know that they come with. So every time you see this person, like you said, you're always in honeymoon phase. Everything is that new relationship energy. Oh my god, I love you. Oh my god, I miss you. Oh my god, all this stuff. But I think that so when you're in the primary relationship with someone, it feels as though, well, we're going through all this stress, and now here I'm relieving this stress over here. So now this is what I tend to, maybe we're meant to be together. Maybe we, have this certain connection that maybe you and I need to explore being with each other. But lo and behold, you don't know that just because you have that going on, when you get to know that person, she going to have the same shits, or he going to have the same shits. So you're just doing that out of what? A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah. So you
through.
feel in the hole because it's like that.
Right.
That comes back to the work thing, right? Like the work is on both sides. So it's like when you get to the point where it's like, I don't want to work on my relationship. So it's kind of like buying, like put it to a car. Like a car would be something that fall more down my wheelbase with that. I mean my wheeling. But like what I'm saying is so if you get a car, right, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get this car and this car dope. Like I get this car. Let's say you want a race car. You get a race car. You buy a race car. It's a race car. It's dope. It run. And then the race car had problems. Like you got problems with the engine. You can put the work in on the engine, or you can see what's up with this other race car.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know the race car you got, and you know all I gotta do is change out the can. This other race car running some really low quarter mile times.
Like,
so you
like ready right now.
let me fuck with it, but you don't even know that the head gasket's glued on. It's a bunch of bullshit. It got fixed and flattened the tires, and it's everything else, and you don't know that. So I think sometimes you get caught up in
that misconception.
You get caught up in a misconception, but I think that's the same. I think that's a natural misconception to get caught in because it's the same misconception that you get caught in a regular relationship. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you dealing with a person, like when you date, you meet somebody. How many people we done dated before us that was like, oh, this and that, da, 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 and then time revealed that they wasn't shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you dope. Oh, you about this. Oh, you about that. And it's cool because they brought their representative. Mm-hmm. So we like, yo, you dope. Oh, yeah, you dope. Blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, me and you was unapologetic. We are ourselves. Like, you just got to deal with the asshole in front of you. It is what it is. Like, I might not cuss you out on the first date. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, pending if it's warranted
pending the value.
Not.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
I will.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? But, like, I'm kind of like, I'm going to be a little more, I'm going to be like a little more reserved.
A little more coothed.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like I'm gonna be a little more reserved because it's like you don't deserve that part of me that early. You know what I'm saying? So it's like some things are gonna be reserved, but it's the difference between being reserved and being a fake, like being a fraud, a phony, right? And that's what happens a lot of times in relationships. People just want to be like, oh, I want to continue this honeymoon phase. So they do that honeymoon phase, and it's like, oh, boom, this honeymoon phase is rocking. Everybody loves the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, that new relationship.
Like really, if it wasn't for the fact that I was getting deployed like overseas and like if I wasn't getting deployed so much, my previous marriage probably would have failed a lot earlier. Like when I look back on it, but it was one of them things where it's like I've been gone for 8 months. You want to fuss about some shit from a year ago, or do you want to just go ahead? You want to go ahead, have sex, do this and that, and let me play with the kids. Let me get some time. You know what I mean? So it's
that was your little scapegoat, huh?
No, it's just it's just what it is. Like just
well, we gonna talk about this. I could have died over there. You this is what we gonna do? Yeah, I know you. I already know you.
I wouldn't even do that. I won't even do that because that whole I would have died over there shit don't work in my favor. That's just like, well, why don't you stop going over there? Why don't you stop going over there? Let me run through these comments right quick. So, Brother Polite came in. That was when I said black forces has entered the chat. You know what I mean? Walking Air Force One. He said, Lowe said, only if he say you a side chick, don't be giving shit away, Mr. Harvey. I'm not fucking. I don't be doing all that like Steve Harvey shit. Ever since he dropped that book, what was it? Think
Act
like
a lady, think like a man.
Yeah, some shit like that. It's like
and the 90-day rule or something.
All that shit. Let me tell you something. You talk about some 90 days. 90 days if you want to, and your homegirl gonna be getting clapped in the background. So cut that shit out. So then, men think linear. We talked about that. Low birthday coming up on the 24th. Old man status. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Got a birthday coming up, brother. We love you.
Happy
you know what I'm saying? We definitely I'm gonna definitely give you a shout.
If you call before you come through,
if you got a call before you come through, you might be a side chick. Yeah, that's true. If you got a call before you come through, but that's not even a side chick. Like if you ain't in a relationship, I think that's a respect thing. Like if we ain't in a relationship, don't be showing up to my house unannounced like you got it like that.
Hey, what I used to do to you?
Show up unannounced like you had it like that.
And don't I have it like that? Thank you. I love you too.
Hey, she used to just pull up to the crib. Hey, she hit me up. I hit her up on my way from work. I be coming from work. It's late as hell, something like that. And I'm like, hey, Fox, I'm going to play. I'm getting off work. She like, you coming over? I'm like, I'm tired. She like, all right, that's cool. She already in the car, backpack, overnight bag, this and that. I'm coming. I'm like, whatever. And I'm telling you, it's a difference between we still talk though.
Yeah, we still talk.
Because, it wasn't no show up without me because, you fuck around, show up and be sitting out there for 3-4 hours. I ain't getting off work.
I don't know that.
No, I'm talking about if you had to just showed up without calling, you'd be like, well, it's 6 o'clock. He might be getting up. I don't know. You there. I'm in the engine room. I'm doing this and that. You in there sitting out there in the parking lot.
I'll tell you, that minute you call me, let me know you. And you call. You're very consistent. So that minute you call, I'm like, oh, he ready. Oh, he tired? Ready. You tired? I come. I'll be there in a minute. 42 minutes.
Come to you. 42 minutes. In the Foxmobile. Getting it. What he say? I mean, I didn't have a main, but they all knew they had to call before they came through. So I mean, that ain't even a side chick thing. Like when I think of side chicks, yeah, when I think of side chicks or side chicks or side dudes, I think about it like, you know that there's a person that if you see him, you need to act a certain way. You need to do this and that, da da da. Like, you know, you not that dude. Like when a woman is like being courted by 4 or 5 dudes, I'm not the side dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the contenders. Like, we all going for the cup. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with women. It's like, if we just going on dates and you see me somewhere else with another woman, it's like, you can get mad if you want to, or you can understand, like, you found me attractive, just like they found me attractive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, act
I'd
up
probably
happy.
be with a date my damn self.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We see each other.
Then after
and
the
then,
date, be like,
what you doing?
what you doing?
What you doing?
You done with your date?
Yeah, you done with your date?
It's your little date.
Come here.
Bring that.
Fucking you. But yeah, so he said I didn't mean what he say, boyfriend number 2. Yeah, I mean, dudes is like we perfectly fine with that, because it's like that's what we came for. So I think a lot of times men come for, we just want some shit like, yo, we came for sex. And we just want sex, right? Because women control sex, men control the relationship. Women want the benefits of the relationship. Men want the benefits of the sex, right? Like, so we'll just want to have sex. So it's like, oh, we side dude them. He doing everything good but cracking them cheeks. Put me in, coach. You know what I mean? Put me in. Let me get that. Yeah, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? But in women, they kind of like, all right, I want to get broke off with some of that. I want to get broke off with some of that aggressive pipe. And then, you know what I mean? If his funds is right, especially like if the funds is right and stuff like that, it's like, okay, cool. Well, yeah, I want gifts. I want this and that. And then the dude got to make up for, well, baby, you know I ain't see you on Christmas Eve or Christmas and New Year's Eve or New Year's, but the day after come with the That's why it's like when it dudes, like, the advice you got to give young men is like, excuse me, you don't got to be like chasing all that ass or something like that. That shit get expensive because of the fact that you got to show up. Like, your car clean. Whatever you use to bait that woman in, it's going to cost you. Whether you did it and it's like, well, I ain't pay no money. It was just my mouthpiece. The mental exhaustion that you had from dealing with that and then lying
Still
and doing
caught,
all that
yeah.
lying is exhausting.
You would know, huh?
Yeah, you would know. I would know. I did some lying back in the day. But what we got? Boyfriend number 2. I don't even know how a dude can have time for a side chick. I be tired. I'm too old. Yeah, Wick, you don't need a regular chick.
People make time for the things that they want.
Make time for the things they want. If you can fart in front of her, she not a side chick. Who mans is this?
It's your man.
Yeah, who mans is this, man? Wig out here, and then brother Polite out here. I'm test driving cars. Yeah, man, you gotta see what you want to work for you.
Oh Lord.
But I think it's like it's the benefit that people get out of it, right? So it comes down to it basically it comes down to the fact where you are basically looking for, it's like, yo, my relationship is mostly everything I need, and I'm not willing to. Sometimes people got the idea I'm not willing to quit one job till I get the next job, and then some people just like, I need a second job because I'm not getting enough income. It worked that same way, and so when they do that, and it just comes to the point where it's like, damn, I do this now. But when you do that and you have a side chick or something like that, or a side dude, you're robbing somebody of their freedom.
Yeah.
Like, you robbing somebody of their freedom to choose whether or not they want to deal with that shit.
That's my thing about liars. That's my primary reasoning for loathing liars, because I feel like you taking away my choice to choose whether or not I want to deal with this situation.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you take that away from me to choose? So you tell me what you have going on. I decide whether or not I want to deal with it or not. You don't tell me. You try to fool me. I'm going to find out anyway. And it's going to be a big problem. Like, why? Just tell me what it is. I say yay or nay. And it's done like that.
And I feel like for dudes, one of the number one things about keeping it a buck is because a lot of times you run into women, and women is like, women are dirty when it come down to hurting a man. So they gonna hit you with her. You could be the shallowest dude in the world, and they like, you love this car though, you love this truck, you love this and that. I'm about to key this, bang that, do whatever. But I feel like it's just like the rapper 50 Cent. He said one time, he said, a lie is worse than a thief. A thief is only after my salary. A lie is after my reality.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I can make that money back, but it's like the time spent off of, like, you took away my freedom. Like, robbing me isn't taking away my freedom.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I can make that money back. I can defend myself. But when you lie, you disarm me. And you don't give me the chance to defend myself. Now, giving me the chance to defend myself would be like, if you just was all of a sudden, like, we've been married for 20 years, and I'm just like, you know what? I want 40. I want 40 fucking wives, and you like, no, that's a robbery because it's like you told me this and that. Now you're trying to rob me, but you still got a choice.
Right.
But cheating is like I ain't give you a choice.
Yeah.
Like so when you're dealing with a side person, I feel like everybody like it's all about what benefits you, like what you want. Like it's a lot of times, like I know a lot of side women, because I done had a side woman or two before. You know what I'm saying? You know, Lord knows, Fox ain't having that. No side women. Ain't no sneaking around here.
No, I ain't having a side woman.
My baby don't take no cheating, my baby.
No.
Yeah, but you done had side women, and side women a lot of times it just sometimes they want to fuck with you, and dudes the same way. Dudes do the same shit. They want to fuck with you just off the strength of who your main, like who your main is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody see you and be like, oh, Fox got all her shit together. She this and that, da da da. Now they like, what's up? I want to fuck with you. Blah 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 blah.
That's like that even in poly relationships. Same shit.
Yeah, they'll see. They be up to like, oh, she thinks she the shit. Okay, cool.
You got this? Oh, you doing that? Oh, y'all like this together? So
let me tear all this shit down.
No, you ain't.
And then wind up on the side of the road sending sad text messages like, but wait, no,
there's more.
but wait, there's more.
There's
No,
more to me.
there's not. There's not. We will never find out. Like fuck out of here. We ain't doing all that. But yeah, so I think
let me tell you, I know of someone. Well, this is past, right?
Do I know of someone or this you?
No, this is me.
Okay.
This is past. In my previous marriage, he had a homeboy, right? Homeboy, oh, I loved his wife. Oh my God, we were just so close and whatever. And come to find out, homeboy had a whole ass mistress. Are you talking about who was sour? Who was like, no, I'm team so and so. Like, who the fuck is this bitch? You know? So I was so upset. And he was like, you know, chill, just don't say nothing. That's their business and whatever. I'm like, and he got there to bring her around me. You know? You know?
See, and that's the wild shit too, because it's like I tell the homies, it's like, hey man, I'm just one of them dudes who's like, don't do dirt. Like it's just one of them things. Like I don't like none of my homeboys. If any dude who will tell you like, hey yo, Jack my homeboy, Legend my homeboy, whatever. It's like he handles his business in the home front. Like, because at the end of the day, as a man, you got to handle home first. It's like you can't be out here buying broads, Birkin bags, and the rent ain't paid. You know what I mean? You can't be talking about some, oh, I went and took her to this date and the light bill ain't paid. You know what I'm saying? So even like, and that's one thing.
Or you take your old lady on a damn date.
So it's like even with dudes back in the day, like we get back to our granddaddy when they just good old fashioned cheated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my homie was saying, like good old fashioned cheated. It's like them dudes took care of home first. And when they was done taking care of home and they was like, I can't do this shit no more. Hey baby, I'm going for a Pepsi and a pack of cigarettes.
There was something I saw today where it was a couple, it was a grandma with her grandchildren and her grandchildren at her husband's gravesite. And it was on, I think, Instagram video shorts or whatever they call it. And they was like, you know, I always loved you. She said, I always loved you, so-and-so, even though no matter how bad you treat, even though you love Peggy Sue more than me. And she was like, wait, what'd you say, Grandma? Even though he was, what?
Yeah.
Like, even though you love so-and-so more than me, I was still here, and I still loved you, and then the daughter was like, even though you didn't know how to come home on Fridays. It's like, goddamn. What is going on here? The man dead already.
Who shot the live video?
It was like the granddaughter, I think, who shot the live video.
She should have turned that shit off.
They just airing out the man business in his gravesite, you know.
But you know, so it's like I give women a break back then because a lot of times women back then didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is,
that's
like, so like when a lot of times when dudes would be like, oh, well, you want a man to do this and that. Well, men back then was doing this. I understand things were different, and I'm not gonna cap about that. Like things were different where it was like, you run this back 50, 60 years or something like that. You can't go get a job to take care of the bills and the kids.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And then, too, we was having a conversation about polygyny, too. That is one of the reasons the women have no choice. They do it because they have to, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But, I mean, when you look at, and it's the same way, like, some women don't have a choice. Some women are about it. But then you got the same thing with polyandry, where you got dudes where it's like, what you usually, with polyandry, you got the same thing where it's like dudes, they have a choice, but it's kind of like, everybody is one of them things where it comes down to everybody settles. Like at the end of the day, you settle, right? Because I mean, if it really came down to it, you'll be in a relationship with Common and Method Man, and I clap every.
And you could be my boyfriend number 3.
Well, that's cool. That's cool because you fine as hell. You know what? I'll still come through there, and then when I look at Common in the driveway when I'm pulling out, I'm be like, I see the bitch in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back to diss tracks on motherfuckers. I'm put like, I see Method Man. I'm like, Tequila. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here hitting him with it like, hey, Meth, all I need is your bitch. As I'm backing out the driveway. That's fine. I do that in my unfulfilled ass life. And then I'm going to write a tell-all book, Get Rich.
I fulfill your life?
Yeah, you wouldn't be here if you did.
I love you.
Because let me tell you something. It ain't like you easy to deal with.
I'm not. You know what? I was thinking earlier. Why you got to get off camera for that laugh? What's up?
Nah,
I was thinking earlier, and I was like, you talking about women who submit, right? I submit. I'm like a balance, I think. So I got to give you enough hell, just to make sure you alive. That's all. That's all it is. You got to post. Okay? Got to give you a little hell. All right? Because if you had a woman that truly submitted, you would walk.
No, that's not true.
That is so true about your personality.
It's not true.
It's true about your personality
because
and what I see.
Submission doesn't mean raise hell.
Okay, I didn't say that.
I mean, like, lack of submission. I mean, when a woman submits, that doesn't mean a lack of raising hell.
What?
When a woman submits, that does not mean a lack of raising hell.
Okay, yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about you.
No,
you would run all
it's
over
not
that
submit.
woman.
There's a difference between submission and being stupid.
You just gonna let her be stupid though while she's submitting? That's what you're gonna do.
No, because what I'm talking about is the difference between the two. Like a woman who submits, like when we talk about it, like I look at it like the man is the head of the household, the woman is the navigator. So when I'm driving the ship, and you tell me like, hey baby, we need to go left. There's a glacier over here. Okay, cool. You the navigator. You got input. That's a difference. Or we go back and forth about like, nah, we need to go right because we need to cut time. And you like, no, it's a storm over here. This and that. Like, and you already know this. This is really more for the listeners. It's like, I'm the captain and I make my decisions based off my navigator. Now, there's a difference when a woman's around and a man allows her to be around. I don't respect your opinion. I can't be around a woman. I don't respect her opinion.
Right. What would make you not respect a woman's opinion?
You don't know shit or bring that. You just like, this and that. Like you like, cause I'm going to say some stuff to challenge. I'm be like, oh, that's what you think, and I know you might think something. And then when I ask you your opinion and you don't tell me, it's like, okay, well now we gonna go left. And now I'm gonna sit here and look at you. I'm gonna sit here and look at you as we get close to this iceberg. I'm over here swinging the helm and I'm looking at you like, you ain't gonna say shit. You ain't gonna say shit. You ain't gonna say shit. All right. As soon as we get to the first whole house, I'm about to turn that shit out. Because obviously you ain't my navigator. So you're fired. You're part of the ship's company.
Yeah, I do think that you probably just run all through that.
No, because that's what it is. It's a difference between, like, I have to respect you. I can't be with a woman I don't respect. It's the same way, like, when women find themselves in relationships. You done been with men that you didn't respect. And how was your behavior?
We ain't together no more.
Oh, you're going to take the Reader's Digest version? We're not together anymore. Obviously, you ain't together with nobody. You with me.
Period. We ain't together no more.
Yeah, but the point of the matter is like, if you don't respect the man opinion, because this is the sad part about it is, every woman who got that brat gene in them, i.e. you, like you got that brat gene in them, y'all want to get checked.
I mean, sometimes that's a good thing.
Yes. It's like sometimes it's bratty and I want my way, and sometimes it's like you want to know, like, I am not in charge. Take me to the bedroom.
You know what? I'm definitely going to say 100% that is me. So I be bratty just because I just need to, get your shit in line.
You need a whole snatch up. Let me talk to you in the room right now. Bring your mother. It's like,
I need snatch up.
I don't know.
That's a part of being a brat.
And then you come out of there and you up here like,
it's just natural.
You want some eggs at 2 a.m? You want an egg sandwich? Like,
I'm talking about my egg sandwiches though.
You want a grilled cheese? What you want to do?
Egg sandwich with a fried bologna.
Why you over here having flashbacks? Look at you, got all wholesome like.
Shut up. Proceed.
Hey, you the executive producer. I just host shows. What's up, executive producer?
What are they saying in the chat? What are y'all talking about over here?
No, they ain't saying nothing new since I hit Brother Polite with I'm a test drive car. So what else? So you want to get into the readings, or do you want to throw in the can't make this shit up in between?
Oh, we could throw a can't make this shit up in between that. Yeah.
You got it? Oh, no, I got it on my phone.
Yeah, I said can't make this shit up
All right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Lord. Read on the web.
Let me tell you. Can't make this shit up.
You ever watch Boondocks?
I watched one episode.
All right, so Boondocks one of my top 5 favorite cartoons, point blank period, right? But on Boondocks one time they had when Martin Luther King came back and he was like, basically like y'all ain't shit. Like, Martin Luther King came back.
He would say that.
Yeah, Martin Luther King be looking at us twerking and shit like that. He'd be up there like,
it's embarrassing.
Lord, I died for this. I should have been swinging on these motherfuckers hitting me with bricks. Like, I should have been killing these damn dogs running up on me. Like, what you talking about? And I think about this when I look at this article and I be thinking like, Dr. King would look at this and be like, the fuck I died for? What the fuck did I die for?
I wonder, like, do people feel bad? Do people even think about that when they behave in the way they are? Like the sacrifices people make for you?
But think about this. Think about this. Did you ride the bus to school? Ever? At any point did you ride the bus to school? Would you say that on the bus?
Where did I sit at? I don't know. I was probably like front to middle because I'm impatient, so I didn't like to wait till everybody get off. So I was like either the first seat or like the third to fourth seat.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm more pro-black than 60% of the population. And your boy was in the back of the bus cracking jokes. Because you know why the bus driver couldn't get to me? Wasn't no authority back then. I'm doing whatever the hell I want back then. And you know what? Rosa Parks done did this shit. So many men and women done gave their freedoms and lives or whatever so that I could sit anywhere on the bus. And where do I go? Straight to the back of a double-decker bus that got a little spinner in between the two carts that's like put together. So I'm just saying, like,
hiding from authority. Look at you. That's a defiance in you. That's all that is. We don't think about the sacrifices people made for us. They would be sad. I would be embarrassed.
You hear that silence? Sit in it while I read this.
Embarrassed.
Yo, Texas woman tattoos baby hairs across her head.
Let me tell you, y'all go look at the damn picture, okay? Go look at that picture. Texas woman, listen, tattoos. Baby hairs. You seen the lace front wigs and they got a little swoops. She tattooed. So that means she continued. I guess the rest of the edges was falling out anyway. I don't know. So she was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to draw some on. And it's going to be there forever. Even when I turn 89. Those baby hairs still going to be there looking crazy.
She going to have baby
And they
hair.
black baby hairs. So
no matter what wig you put on.
with your gray hairs.
Because she looked like the type of woman that got 227 pieces in her closet.
Isn't her hair colored now? And the baby
I want to say she got
slick.
locks.
It's so slick, but your hair is like extremely kinky. They don't even look.
Are those locks?
Let me see. Oh my God, they're locks.
Yeah.
I want to. Can we show the people? Can we go to the? Can we see? Can we show the people?
I will have to. So this right here. Man, I would have to go up to the camera.
They need to see that. Go to the camera so they can see this foolishness. Okay.
I could just put a link in the chat.
Yes, put a link in the chat so they can see this. They can see what we see.
I'm gonna send it to myself.
We want you to see what we see while we see and what we see. Okay.
So my thing is this. That's crazy. So she got the. So basically, like, if you old enough to remember what S curls look like. Or when people used to like just gel baby hair on this and that, and they would take hair. No, I'm talking about her. Her shit is like when you would take hair from like back here, like hairline right here, and girls with like gel-less. But then she taking hair from like when you imagine that, and they put it down there and gel it on there, like what Ashanti was trying to do with her sideburns when she first went to Murder Inc. It's like that's what the old girl doing all over her face, and
terrible.
And it's wild. Because she got locks. Like, I just realized the picture and looked at it. She got locks. So imagine Fox right here. If Fox had, and I'm going to come off the mic a little bit. Like, all in this area I'm at, if it was a tattooed baby hair on, like gel. So she got natural-ass hair.
Superman
locks,
curls.
And you just got Superman curls of gel on it. It's like, girl, what was you thinking?
Drew. It was drawn on her fucking forehead.
Just drawn on her face. And I'm going to go ahead, like, what? I copied this. So
I
got to send it over to my notes.
Swear, I don't know what people see. I think when you see stuff like this, I really think it is kind of like how people are tone deaf when they sing.
Yeah.
They don't know that you can't sing. Okay, just shut the hell up. I think that people like that are kind of like that visually. Like they
feel like people
really see it put together the right way.
I feel like people don't got no friends. Actually, instead of because we in multi-stream.
Because they ain't
because you don't got friends.
That shit look crazy.
Like who is you about to come to? Like imagine what type of man would I be if you came home with your baby hair tattooed on? If you came home
and you said it was good. Thanks.
If you came here with your baby hair tattooed on. And I would just apply, oh, yeah, baby, you look good. I am a ain't shit dude. Like, if I'm not telling you at the door, it's like,
hell, you did.
You done lost your goddamn mind and we about to go out here and find it. Like, we about to go out here because you left it somewhere. It's not in the house.
Can your damn edges grow back?
Yeah, can your edges go back? You better grow wolf girl hair over your face to cover that shit up. That shit is ridiculous. So,
bruh.
Yeah. So if you in the chat, right? Like, so I got the multi-stream up, so I can't share it straight to the chat. But if you in the chat and you go to www.sis2sis, so SIS2SIS.com, and you look up the Texas woman, gonna be one of the first ones that come up. So it's like Texas woman tattoos baby hairs across the head, but the website is www.sis2sis.
Yeah.
And if you go there, they're gonna have on it, and it's crazy because it's like, I mean, it ain't no way to justify this. Like, I understand that we go for like crazy styles and people want to like, you know, just show out and they want all type of clout, but it's like, attention, clout, money, all that shit the same. Where it's
maybe
like all clout ain't good
like
clout.
Easy maintenance, but I don't see how that's going.
I don't see how that's easy,
working.
especially when you got like, maybe I would have understood if she had a wig and had some other shit gelled on and put the little frontal on and did all this shit and had a closure and this and that.
Maybe she thought about maybe she thought about Mike Tyson and was like, you know, hey, if he did it to his face, they almost look like baby hairs. Let me just do a little something.
He got like a tribal tattoo on his face.
I
like,
know,
get out of here.
but still.
Get out of here.
And it's going to turn green, too. That's the crazy thing about it. Ew.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of green. Don't nobody got no. I have zero feelings for her. Like, she could wear all that. She lost her goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Like, point blank, period. It just looks ridiculous. Like, please go to the website, look at the picture, and just see when it's like, hey, man, it is what it is. And I absolutely hate to say anything crazy because I'm super protective of our women, but sis put herself out there for that.
That's crazy.
She put herself out there
judging.
Yeah, we judging out here today.
Hard.
We doing that.
Hard. So, y'all in the chat, right? How many of you guys believe in past lives? Okay, you can put me in the chat or something like that.
Past life, meaning that this ain't your first time on this plane,
this ain't
the
your
earth,
first rodeo.
Your soul, your spirit, whatever.
How many of you guys believe in that? So I do. I believe that we have many lives, and of course time is not linear, so many lives on different planes and simultaneously too at that. So
time is not linear. If you check out that podcast that we put out when I did the public school TED Talk, we talked about time travel and just the idea that time's not linear.
Yeah. So I do believe in that. And so the thing behind the psychotherapy and things like that, especially when you're dealing with past life regressions, it is to help you understand more about this current life that you are living now, right? So what you do when you go through your regression, you will be picking up certain things and certain clues about why you are the way you are, so you can better serve yourself in this current time, right? In this current life. So let me give you an example, right? I had a past life reading done on me, okay? This lady don't know anything about me. Somebody gave me her number or whatever. We scheduled the appointment. She asked me no questions about myself, nothing. I didn't even tell her my name, so she called me. What?
I just started looking at you. You're pretty.
Thank you. So she called me, and we had our session, our appointment and everything. And so one thing about me, and you would know because I remember I've always had this thing about, what do you call it, babe?
We might need to go a little further. What, PTSD?
No. When
Fox got this thing where she always worried that like it's gonna get to a point like when the world goes to shit and it's like martial law.
Martial law, there you go.
She worried about that.
I have a specific fear of martial law.
That's the only reason she with me, because she know I'm gonna kill her.
And I have a really bad anxiety when it comes to that or thinking along those lines, right? And when COVID struck, oh my God!
And I was gone on deployment.
He was on. Yes, he was gone. I was in the biggest frantic. I was nuts. Okay, all I think about. Oh my God, they're gonna have the goddamn military here. They're gonna rape me and my girls. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? I was going nuts. I was thinking all along that type of mind frame about
bins of random ass shit. I
got bins of all kind of stuff.
Broth, noodles, canned
like
this,
it was a damn hurricane, okay?
Yeah. She in there, sticks and shit in the garage, pool sticks, this and that, da 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 da. Yo.
I had everything in that garage, and my fear was that they were going to incorporate martial law, and these soldiers was going to come in and they were going to rape me and my girls, and probably kill my son. You know, so knowing that about myself, I've always had that fear. Something beautiful that I love, though, besides the stars and everything in the universe, would be grass, like green grass, pastures rolling, like Ireland. I was like, oh, when we get married, oh, I want to get married in Ireland. No, we get married March in Jacksonville. so, but it's in the Golf and Country
green,
Club.
though.
So the pastures are green still. So I kind of got my little wish there. But so we had the reading, and the lady told me that in one of my lives, she had to point out to me I was a Jew, and the Jewish people are not, anyway. So
it was Jewish. We can just leave it at Jewish.
So anyway, we're not talking about the Holocaust. There was another persecution of the Jews way back in the 15th century, right? I forgot exactly where the location was. I don't have my book with notes when we had that reading done. But she said I was in that village. And she said it was a very small village. It was out in the middle of nowhere, lots of green grass and this and that. And
look at me. I'm the captain now.
I know I'm just looking at the camera or whatever it says.
Just want to stare at yourself?
Yeah. So
Conceited?
So I was in there, green grass, and suddenly the whole village it was overtaken. It was overtaken by a bunch of by some kind of crusade, and they were killing people left and right. Just came in, horses, everything, just chopping heads, snatching women, raping them, raping kids,
and Pelage.
all kind of things. And I was like, oh my God, that is my biggest fear, And they were forcing, like the soldiers that was there, they were forcing people to live in there with the women because they were helpless. They killed all the men. And I was someone who everybody kind of looked at as a teacher. So I would grab all the children because I was actually teaching, I think that day she said. I was teaching. I was over there by the river, and I was giving some kind of lesson, and they were gathering water when all this took place. So we were able to hide, but I saw what was going on to the people in my village. So I had to go and gather all the kids and try to hide them in the place where until everything was
better
over.
You than me, because my spirit I don't really like kids. So fuck them kids. I wouldn't have gathered none of them.
I hid the kids, and I kind of raised them as my own. It was 12 kids, and I raised them as my own. I never married after that happened.
I bet.
They were my
I bet. 12 kids right now, I wouldn't marry your ass.
They grew up and did things. And,
God bless them.
Did good. And I died alone, though. I died alone.
Yeah, you had a dozen kids. An actual dozen kids.
But my life was fulfilled, though.
Good.
So
you know what wasn't fulfilled?
So what?
I ain't gonna be dirty on the podcast. Go ahead, baby.
I know what you about to say. Nasty.
Cheeks wasn't fulfilled because you was out there with 12 kids. They ain't had no roads back then.
No.
You was out there in the river with your legs open like, come on, pick up.
Flow.
Let the river flow. You know what I'm saying? Come on, current.
But yeah, so when she told me that, not knowing anything about my fears, my anxieties that I have, it was kind of like, oh my God. This is why I have this deep-rooted fear about any type of militia coming in and quarter housing or whatever you call it with us.
Or me not being home.
And you not being home to protect me. Yes. So
that's my whole job around here.
That
provide and protect.
So when I tell you, when I saw that, when I had this reading done, it was so profound to me. And also she told me something about one of my daughters. And I'm just going to leave that part private because my daughters are here. So I'm going to leave that part private.
They might be listening.
Hard.
We record from the house. As you see this curtain out this window, we're home.
It would be hard for them to really understand. Yeah. But when
we'll wait a few years.
Yeah, it was the best thing that ever happened because it made so much sense as to why I have this sort of anxiety about, military and people forcing themselves in and things like that.
So who she married?
A military guy, right? Isn't that crazy?
Killer.
I know, right?
Killer.
Yeah. So it has all of that kind of takes place, and I think when you do things like that with past life regression, it kind of helps you put the pieces together of who you are and why you are the way you are. There have been so many different studies about past life regression. There was a
that's what I wanted you to get into. That's what I want to do. That's what I've been really waiting for. It's like this backstory
Scientists
cool, but this shit dope.
Who was given $1 million to disprove and to debunk the past life theory. At the end of it, I mean, he was very rigorous with his research, everything. And at the end of it all, he couldn't. He was pro, hey, this soul lives on. We come back over and over again, reincarnation and or past lives. And he was just a staunch advocate for that. There was
hold on.
What?
Hold on. My homie brother Polite said I was a killer whale in my past life.
You was a killer whale?
No, let me tell you, you know that kid that I used to watch on TikTok. His name like start with a T or something. And he be calling like killer whales homicidal sea pandas, and how they just like
the guy who know all about the animals.
Yeah, he know all about the animals on Young Black Brother or whatever. It's killer whales. We'll get. I'll talk about killer. I ain't gonna.
Why are you a killer whale? Why do you think?
No. Let's let him kick it. It's a joke, and we'll get to it about why he said that. But go ahead, and I don't want you to lose track of where you at right now.
You know, my mind is kind of
because you'll be all over the place. So he was talking about the scientists, and he became pro past life.
Yeah, and so they become to study just how often and how the occurrences of it, especially with children, because they tend to remember more than the adults do. Obviously, we have life that takes place and everything else that kind of distracts us and filter that stuff out.
Yeah, you shouldn't have told me about this because I'm just sitting here looking at you and I'm like, get to the story. Get to the story.
So
like the story that like blew me.
There was a little boy who was 4 years old, and him and his mom, they even have this out. You can probably read about it. And he was so fascinated with drawing this boat, this big ass boat, this ship. Okay, he was so fascinated with drawing the ship, and it's the Titanic. Basically, he didn't know it was a Titanic. He's 4. Okay. So he draw it in different areas, different segments of the boat, in the inside, the compartments, the states rooms. He was drawing this boat over and over repeatedly.
Think about this.
Different areas, different ways.
For me to break this up for cats that know like nautical type terms, you got a kid that's 4 years old, and he's drawing like intricacies of like the engine room layout of the main engines, the shaft, reduction gears. He's drawing like where the helm is. He's drawing where navigation and he's drawing like where navigation, where radar systems are, where sonar systems. He's drawing out. Yeah. Basically, he's doing what people do, like in the Navy, if you attach to a ship, what we do to get our quals. This kid's doing it at 4 years old from memory, never been on a ship.
Never been on a ship. And one time, one of his babysitters was watching him, and they watched the Titanic. He was asleep. He caught like somewhere towards the end of it or whatever.
Well, my boy Leo had to go out.
He's been fascinated with that even more because that's like the ship he was drawing. So 5-year-old came. The mother was obviously, intrigued about what's going on and also concerned. They take him to see different things.
And the other thing you got to think about from what you were saying, these ain't like pictures like, when your kid bring a picture and you put it on the refrigerator, you drawing like architectural pictures like to spec, you know what I mean? Like grid paper.
For kids, they were kid pictures.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not like just like, oh, here's the happy face and stuff like that. It's
it was,
here's the deck, you know what I'm saying? Here's the antennas and here's the staterooms.
We have the stairs, how the stairs wind around.
Yeah, it's winding around, the
ladders,
stairs, all this stuff.
Everything. He was so descriptive in all his drawings of this boat. And even when the Titanic broke apart, the way it broke apart as it sunk. So he was doing all of that. His family, when they brought some of the replicas over here to the States, his family knew how fascinated he was with it, so they took him to see it. They spent 3 hours in there as he looked at each artifact over and over again.
Because he remembered that shit.
Right, because he remembers.
Yeah, that shit wild.
Come to find out, he was having dreams. His mother would hear noises and everything, and he was having dreams about the actual occurrence of when the ship was sinking. Yeah. And he would say, oh, she's going, things like that. His mother, he would not know his mother was in the room rubbing his back. She didn't want to disturb it. Yeah. She didn't know what to do. She was frightened. She was, he was yelling. He was panicking. He was rocking the bed till it was hitting the wall. So all of that was kind of coming into play. And she was like, oh my God, something's wrong with my son. Something's wrong with my son. And that's when she realized, when she got the game, because there was a video game. Yeah, of the Titanic. So him and his sister.
That's a shit video game. You know what the end gonna be.
He would have to play And, you know, they had to go through different corridors, and he would tell his older sister, hey, don't go there because this room is going to lead into that. Don't go here because it's going to lead into that. And she was like, yo,
little kid.
It's a little kid. He 5-6 years old, I think, at that time.
So he had first grade at best.
Yeah, at best, first grader. And it wasn't fun for her, obviously, because he knew too much about the game.
Yeah, you over here like, I can show you this and that. You can't show me shit about this engine room. These is 2,000 horsepower engines.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He knew which smokestack was the faulty one, was like the fake one that they used just for show or whatever to make it even in comparison. So he knew that. He knew everything was in his ship. Somebody gave him on eBay. He went to a show to talk about past lives because that's how they felt. Someone gave him a blueprint, 6, a blueprint of the Titanic. And he named everything. He described, you know, what he was seeing on the blueprint at 6 years old.
Like high level shit too.
High level shit.
Like better than we could describe it.
High level shit. And they tried to, and with the blueprints, they was like, now which one is the faulty? I forget the word they used for that.
But they made a fake.
They were talking about the smokestack where the engine, where the smoke come out.
Yeah, the exhaust.
He was like, which one is it? And so it took him less than a minute to tell him, oh, this one is the faulty one. Is the fake one because there's no pipeline that's going to let the exhaust out and this and that. And he's describing that, and they just shut the hell up because there was no logical explanation
for why the hell a 6-year-old
he knows this. Right?
Why a 6-year-old could break
for
down
why
this
he
shit,
knows this.
especially if you compare it to everything else he knows. Like the rest of the shit he knows, like regular 6-year-old shit.
Right.
Like, oh, cartoons and this and that.
He
But
was so
when it come down to this one ship, it's like I'm next level.
That's right. So they did a past life regression on him, and come to find out, he was the lead designer, Thomas Andrews, of the Titanic.
That's wild as fuck.
That's why he knows so much about this damn ship.
Yeah.
He was the lead designer of this ship. And he was there that day. He died that day. They offered him a lifeboat, and he didn't take it. He didn't take it because he wanted to help. And he wanted to help the others. Yeah. He didn't take it. So he died. And I was like, wow, that's so crazy. And the picture, the mother was like, the picture of him and Andrews, it's like you looking at the same person.
Yeah.
It'd be crazy. As now, his
it'd
adult
be crazy
self.
when you look at people and you look at people from like this time and then look like 200 years ago and we're like, damn, Fox, is that you?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just you with a ponytail.
Yeah.
Like, just like, just like no locks, just a ponytail. It's like,
exactly.
Well, damn, Fox, you got the same.
You the same. Yeah, you the same person.
Yeah.
Like, how do you describe those instances? There's no way you can't refute that from a child.
Yeah, because you can't say, like, no matter how much you was to get a child and be like, we're going to teach him all this stuff and do a hoax. It's like, you ain't going to get that out of 6-year-old. It'd be different if he was a, like, 26-year-old man.
And the mom didn't know nothing about ships. They ain't never been on a cruise. They never did, you know.
But even if you did, it's like I know a whole lot about engineering, and I'm telling you right now, I could not gear my 18-year-old son to be that in-depth.
And to be interested in it.
Even if he was interested in it, I couldn't take him and be like, yo, like maybe over the course of 18 years, but like I couldn't take any of them. Like I couldn't take, like, our youngest is 5. I couldn't take him in the next year. Give me 3 years, and I could not get him to the point where he can explain things like that at that level and have the like ability to like work his way through it cognitively. There's no way.
Yeah, you can't explain stuff like that. Not only that, in another life that he had, he was in Wyoming where he was telling his mom that from his past life regression, that he was doing train carts, that he was building those.
This is smart. What is he doing right now?
I don't know what he's doing right now.
Because I'm telling you right now, I swear to God, if you working at Chick-fil-A, I'm losing my goddamn mind. I'm losing my goddamn mind. Come to
find out what he described now, he lived somewhere like Minnesota or something. It was an M, I forget which one. But he was saying that he was in Wyoming, and he started to build like the train carts and stuff and the railroads and all that. And come to find out, you know, when the lady did her research on it, that was where one of the first railroads and carts and stuff was built. So she was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
did they find another dude that looked like him?
No, they didn't find a dude that looked like him because he didn't. There was
that
no
dude probably wasn't taking pictures. He wasn't.
There was no
had
picture.
no FaceTime. He ain't had no reason to have a picture like that. Dude from the Titanic, it was like big ass ship. I'm important. Look at me. I'm this and that. But for train cars, he probably didn't get that type of love.
Even that his mindset is always like some type of engineering.
Yeah, some type of engineering. That's what I'm just saying. It's like I want to see we doing that because I'd be real pissed off if that dude is like serving double cheeseburgers right now at 30 years old. It's like.
So those things.
Do you know you built the first train stuff over here? You built the Titanic and this thing. You out here giving me a McDouble?
Yeah.
McKill yourself.
That's so sad.
That's what I tell him. McKill your fucking self. Like.
Yeah, that's crazy because I mean those things right there. It gives you purpose. You know, it gives you purpose to
It gives you
understand why
some
you are the
insight.
way you are.
It
Like,
give
when
you
you,
insight. Now,
yeah.
so what I thought was real dope when you talked about the past life regressions is like how dude had like chronic pain. Like it was the one woman she had.
yes.
She could. Well, first it was the one. The second one you told me was like the one woman she couldn't see out of the eye. She had like cataracts. Didn't know why. She's like
she's in her 30s. She had cataracts, and her dad was a scientist. Was one of these scientists with Stevenson, and she had a couple of regressions that didn't help her. One when she was about to give up her last regression, she was like, "Okay, fine, I'll do it." She found out that she was burnt. She was burnt in her home because they thought she was a wizard. She was a male in this life, and her eyes were burnt. And so once she realized that, her cataracts cleared up after that regression, like in a couple weeks after that.
That's
No
great.
more eye problems. No more eye problems. The lady who did the past life regression, she was having an issue with her jaw, on the left side of her jaw, like right here in this like kind of neck jaw area. They were having to have surgery on her, and the only option was to wire her jaw, put wires in her jaw. And she did a regression. And when she did a regression, she found out that she was a really big, male, strong black slave. And the collar,
Mandingo.
right? The collar, the collar that they had, the chain around the neck, it had a defect in it, and the defect pierced right there where she was having that pain. After she came out of that regression, there was zero pain from her.
That's crazy.
And it made her
That also show you why placebo affects me. Wow.
That made her a believer, and she started teaching past life regression because that came into effect. Like, oh, this happened to me. This is why this hurts me.
I put you on the flip side. A lot of people know I'm a big skeptic of most things.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the spiritual realm, not so much, but like I kind of try to give the devil's advocate, play a lot of things. But I'm interested enough in that past life regression that I'm going to do one, because anybody who knows me enough know, like, I had several chronic pains, and I've been able to justify them by like, well, I almost got blown up. I got blown away, or oh, I was
Maybe
over here.
Maybe you did blow up into pieces or something.
Don't look at me like that and say that as if you wishing that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby, because I don't know how this shit works, so we're not going to do this. We ain't going to do this on this podcast.
I'm just saying.
But I'm interested in doing the past life regression. And if anybody else, like, y'all listening, y'all listen back to this and that, because we got some viewers in and out. But if you listen to it,
and you can do it yourself.
Yeah, you can do it because she got to read, like, you had a past life regression done, but she got something on your phone where it's like it pretty much puts you in the.
Oh,
don't worry about that. Guess we won't know about no past life regression.
Yeah,
but
you can do it yourself, and it kind of puts.
If y'all got questions about it, ask UncleLegend@gmail.com. And Fox, who runs that email for the most part, she'll go ahead and give you some ideas on it. But I just think about it. It's like a lot of things are mental and spiritual, and we don't like
all connected.
It's all connected, and it's like everything in the world.
I'm sorry, I ain't telling about one of my past lives when I was the milkman.
The Fox was slinging dick as the milkman.
Stop.
You was a fucking whore.
I did a past life regression on my own, and in this short time, I discovered that in one of my lives that I was a milkman, a black milkman. And I was like, maybe that has a lot to do with my take, how I feel about women and stuff, because I was giving them bottles, okay?
I was giving them bottles. You was dropping off some fluids. You was dropping off the milk.
They come home, honey, you got some milk on your chin. Yes, you do.
Yeah, yes, she do. Yeah, she do. She getting all her vitamins and minerals.
All vitamin D.
Vitamin D. You was a fucking whore. Oh my God.
That's all the vitamin D.
Hey, I'm really interested, like, from the past life readings, because not so much from the man perspective, because I think mine will probably be similar to how that boys was. Like the lives that I lived as a man are going to be similar in nature, I think.
Yeah.
I'm really curious
about your female life.
But don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But I feel like I'm really curious to know, like, I wonder if, like, I'm like the female version of you. Like, I was just a hellraiser. Like, I'm out here Harriet Tubman this shit up. Like,
so there's something that, he and I discovered in dealing with each other, that we are twin flames. And so if y'all don't know what that is, y'all need to go ahead and Google that. But but we definitely are twin flames. And that's something, past the soulmate level, past all of that, that's something that is...
Yeah, so one of them things, just to make that simple, because I know a lot of people probably was on the level that I was at spiritually at a certain point or whatever. Fox is like here, and for people who like know me, if you fuck with me pretty heavy, you probably somewhere around here, but we gonna get there, right? But So soulmate don't necessarily mean the person that you meant to be with, right?
Yeah.
Like your kid could be your soulmate.
That's
Like
right.
like if you think about it, if you watch that movie, what's the movie with the fucking werewolves and vampires? The werewolves was big ass
Twilight?
dog. Yeah. So if you look on there, like the werewolf dude, he imprinted on a kid that was like the vampire dude kid or something. But the imprinting did. Well, he said it wasn't sexual in nature. Now in the movie, it might have been some perversion shit, but the idea behind it is that you can, like, a child could be a soulmate. Like I think my 8-year-old might be my soulmate. He might be one of my soulmates, right?
Yeah.
And like there's previous relationships and stuff that you're gonna be in that people might be a soulmate. Friends that you have
Your current
that gonna be a soulmate. Like
relationships.
I have like friends and past relationships where I'm like, oh, that was my soulmate. Because sometimes they meant to be there for you, to stay with you. Some people meant to be there to guide you. Some people meant to be there just to
And you learn those
get you to a
hard
certain point.
lessons from
You know what I
them.
mean? It's kind of like think about like pro boxers, right? Like, or a pro fighter. You're a pro fighter and you start out fighting at a local gym in your neighborhood. Excuse me. That teacher or that trainer ain't meant to have you win the heavyweight belt.
Right.
That teacher was there to get you to golden gloves.
Yeah.
That's something, but they can't teach past that level. And that's the same thing that sometimes happens, right? So if you got soulmates, like soulmates could be like your ex-husband, your ex-wife, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend.
It is, because those are soulmates are just people who come together. You guys have that contract before you get here.
Yeah.
To teach you these lessons. You guys learn these lessons.
Like it's
together.
kind of like
That's
the
all
way a lot of times they'll teach you about lives. And when you talk about lives, like Foxton taught me, is like when you'll have it and you'll basically, it's like even with your kids, like when we talked about kids last podcast, it's like we come back and we choose this vessel. So like you go and then you come back and you're like, yeah, I want to come back and I want to do this. So for some reason you reach this level of whatever that you was like, this is what I want to come back as, or these circumstances or something like that. And everything might not go perfectly the way that you chose from the last lifetime, but what you living right now is some shit that you chose that you thought that you can get through. So don't be a bitch compared to your old you.
Yeah. And so one of the things too, especially and I know this is probably a sensitive subject for a lot of people, you know, when they're talking about suicide, right? So a lot of the time, a part of the suicide and the thoughts of suicide, because you feel that powerlessness, right? You don't have that power. You don't have, but in that suicide, you have the power. You control what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So with that,
because you're the one taking action.
right? Because you're taking the action. Then anything else, everything else around you is spiraling out of control, and you lost that control, right? That's how you would feel. You lost that control, and now, but this is something I can change. I can stop this right now. But the sad thing is what people don't realize is that because we are energy, and what's the rule about energy?
Can't be created nor destroyed. Engineering 101.
And so you will return and to do that same
You're about
thing.
to groundhog
You're gonna
day
come
that shit out.
right back again to go through that same scenario, if not worse. So that's the one thing.
And when you start thinking about, like, even when she's talking about these past life regressions, which make sense for me, is like when you think about the ancestors, right? Like you think about Native Americans or whatever, whoever your ancestors is, right? Like, but I'm talking about like going back to Africa, Native Americans, all life started in Africa. You could think whatever you want, but science says that, so it is what it is. But when you go back to it, we had like more of a spiritual understanding and connection with everything else that was there. So it's like when you have these thoughts, and you think about these thoughts, and it's like, man, and it's like, oh, you kind of off, and you kind of this, that, and the third, right? And you feeling this way, and you feeling that way. It's like, the wild thing about it is like, back then we had ancestors. So like, say if I'm a kid, I'm 6 years old, and I'm going through all this stuff. She one of the elders. She's 30, 40 years old, something like that. I'm 6, but she done been through this, and she's one of the elders or something like that. So I'm like, Fox, I got this and that going on. Well, baby, let's talk about it. And then she'll talk me through it. And then before you know it, we do whatever. We have like some type of spiritual enlightenment. We have this, that, and the third. And we go through these things that where I connect. And then I'm like, oh, boom, I'm here. I understand this stuff. And now you make this connection. You get rid of the trauma, because like Fox was explaining to me today, like this is today years old, that like a lot of that trauma that you might carry over comes from your past life.
That's right.
So like you went through it, and that's what she was saying about like her trauma with military and martial law and everything. It came from a past life. So that's not even something happened to her this life, and she carried it over. Now she don't even be tripping so much about it. Like she still want me to be home.
Yeah.
But she not thinking about like martial law. She was just like, well, I'm gonna just be. Now she's more like, well, I'll just be
The
prepared. If shit hit the
anxiety.
fan and you ain't home, I'm gonna just hold it down till you get here, because I know
Right.
the first place you going when that shit jump off. Like, daddy coming home. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just crazy when you think about like the ways we handled it before, and everybody think like we're so far and we done learned so much with technology. It's like certain things when it got so far and certain things when it got removed. Because now if a kid brings up those stories under the wrong circumstances, they're going to get medicated and everything else.
Right, and I think that's unfair. And this is going off a tangent, you know.
Yeah. We out back right now.
We're going to talk about, well, I can just say this, though. When you're talking about people who see other things and excuse me, different realms and all that, doesn't necessarily mean they're crazy. It's because it's not the normal that you set forth for them. Doesn't mean that that's not what's currently what their normal is. Like a lot of people are so spiritually inclined and so spiritually sensitive. That's their life. That's their everyday life, and that's their normal. So to fit in a box of something you created to say, well, hey, you're supposed to be thinking like this. That is the problem. And that's the problem. So we're the ones that has the problem.
Hey, you know what's so hitting is like the best way I can explain that for like people who not on the spiritual realm, you feel like this shit ain't for me. My 8-year-old, he got autism. My 8-year-old is brilliant, like flat out brilliant. The thing about it is though, my 8-year-old is a fish. Society is teaching kids to be birds. Jesus Christ, this is a whole lot of stuff that just popped up in the chat. But my 8-year-old is a fish. And it's so many people that's like y'all teaching people to be birds. My 8-year-old's not going to excel at being a bird. He's a fish. So it's like, even if he's a flying fish, he can get up and do some flying shit. So it's like, oh, well, you know, maybe he's just at this area. But put him in water and let him be brilliant. But the fact of the matter is we're trying to teach people. So it's like, while you thinking like, oh, my son's autistic and he has all of these different issues, he don't. He's just wired to be a fish. And we're teaching everybody and trying the education system is trying to group everybody in this. And we could do a whole podcast on that. Not to get off, but
we will next podcast.
We're going to reach because we're probably going to remember this. But that's how I feel about it. Like when you sitting there talking about it, it's like, oh, well, you know, he's not neurotypical. He don't got this because he's not a fucking bird.
Right.
My 8-year-old's a fish. And I'm not saying like whatever animals you want to equate that, right? Like you could put in everybody's being a fish and my son's a bird, or he's a dinosaur, and whatever the fuck you want. He's just not the same type. And now he's brilliant at what he does and he's exceptional at what he does. Like I have an 8-year-old who can memorize, like Titan can memorize. So when you look at resistors, like when you saw all the shit I pulled out that camera, and when you get on motherboards and shit like that, you got resistors that change the amount of electricity that go through. Titan can memorize those because all of those have a color code with stripes and everything that tell you what their impedance is in ohms. Titan memorized that shit. I'm not a dumb dude. I can't memorize that shit. I got a cheat sheet. I got Google. I got this and that. And Titan's like, well, that's 0.5 ohms. Oh, well, you know what I mean? He's just boom, boom, boom with that type of shit. You know what I mean? Then when you try to put him and do like other stuff that other kids is doing, he's like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just crazy, like how many times we just go to medication and everything else and think people crazy. We just don't understand how to teach them and reach them to unleash their potential. It's like
and don't want to because
you want
to keep everybody in the box and for control actually. But whole nother podcast. So we get back to the past life regressions, and so we're gonna do one. I'm gonna do one tonight, and we'll talk about that in the next podcast. What I discovered.
There has to be another adult around for this past life regression.
One because I want him to actually record.
So if there's any adults around, y'all probably need to come around here and help folks. I am not an adult. Let me see what Ife said. This is crazy. Just had this conversation tonight with my children. My son explained he matured to understand that his darkest thoughts he suffered for years that he couldn't control. He recognized the energy carried over. Epigenetics, and I don't know what the yes was, where we were in the conversation we said that, but epigenetics, I don't even know, but I guess that's referring to what we're talking about. I'd have to look up epigenetics myself unless
I haven't heard of epigenetics before, so
it's probably just a scientific term. Like just how like trauma's wired in our DNA, so that's why we traumatic. Like we got like as black people, we got like a slavery trauma. Still in our DNA right now. We 400 years removed, right? But
and still have that trauma. That's
crazy.
So that's what it is. But what we was talking about are to do the past life regressions. I think that you guys should all try it. I'm not gonna tell you what to do if you believe in God, whatever. Let me tell you, I was raised. I was raised Baptist. I was raised Christian. Then my father found true Hebrew Israelite. After that, I grew into my own foundation, spirituality.
And it's crazy how with me, because I got brought up Christian, then went to Islam, and became Muslim.
It's like peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
And don't get me started. He always fuels up my foolishness. You know what I'm saying? This is what he do. This is part of the twin flame connection, the foolishness. That's it.
We finish each other's sentences. That's all I know.
We do a lot. Like, that's hard.
Fox, we got to get on the
hard combo. That's a hard.
I got pissed like a racehorse, Fox.
Why you gotta say that in the thing? You know we gonna edit that out.
No, they gonna get all of that.
Nah,
But y'all think I don't
we
got
gonna
a?
edit
You
it
think
out.
Uncle Legend don't got a bladder?
Anyway.
So anyway, gun to your head time.
What y'all? Oh, gun to your head.
We getting the gun to your head time. Hit the book. Get your phone. Hey, don't be putting your head up under the table, young lady.
Anyway, put my head wherever I choose to.
I don't know if that was loud enough. Run it back.
Oh my God! Don't do like you did last time with this.
Bangers. So we said 14, the day of the fox.
That's right.
14, day of the fox.
Yeah, 12, 14. Y'all put that in y'all calendars because that's a special day. That's the day that the angels decide to leave. The angels decide to leave and come here and grace y'all with blessing and presence. Okay?
I gotta pee.
Just want to let you know.
I can walk away right now. If you want to just cook it right now, and I can go. I ain't gonna make it. I ain't gonna make it. You taking so long.
We need
you can talk about past life
we need adult
regressions.
diapers, guys. That's crazy, right? He about to really get up in the middle of the podcast and go empty a bladder. I'm getting poised for your ass. Do they have poise for men? Because that's probably what we need with him. Anyway, so before we do the gun to your head, if y'all have any questions for me while he's doing that about past life regressions and things like that, or my experiences and all that stuff, I'll be happy to answer that. But yeah, we're going to do one tonight for me because I feel like I've been going through and feeling some different things, and I just kind of want to get to the bottom of it. And also just see what's next for me moving forward. So I don't know if it's going to actually shoot forward because you can't go further into the future, or you're going to go back. So I'm not really certain, but I'm anxious to find out. I was trying to do this all day up until the podcast. There was just so many things getting in the way. Oh, he had a meeting, and I had this, and I had to go do that. So, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen, and I will talk about it next podcast. So be ready for that. We're going to let Pissy Wissy do what he got to do and then come back in a minute. You done?
What, you talking shit about me?
No, I ain't say nothing about you. We was talking about my past life. I said that as you was here. You was here at the same time when I said that. So you heard all of that. Okay. How you done in Akashic?
You can't see right now.
No, I need my glasses.
Have you done an Akashic record before?
No, I haven't done an Akashic record before, but that's something I definitely want to do. I have been studying Akashic record though. So I don't know anybody who can do an Akashic record. You can do it yourself, obviously, I think, from my last reading when I read about the Akashic records. But that is something I feel a little bit I want to do. I feel like that's like my highest point right there, to do the Akashic record. And I kind of want to take things in steps because I don't feel like I'm ready to have that type of information. I think I'm going nuts if I have this type of information.
That's how I feel about that shit when people be talking about I want to open my third eye. I'm good. I ain't ready to open my third eye. Like, that's why I know it's like when I retire, that's one of the main reasons why I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to go straight to work and I don't want to do everything else because I want to just take that time, work on me, and I want to get to a point where I can take like ayahuasca or something like that, or even do like LSD or something like that, where it's just like, oh, water on my face. You ain't used to it. But I want to get to a point where I can do that and like know it's gonna be a safe trip. Like understand enough about it, do this and that, and I want to be able to have that like out of body experience and cook and get to where I need to go. Yeah. Definitely. But if you wanted to cook about anything, we'll hit gun to your head again because you. No, I was just answering the question that came up in the chat. So about Akashic records. No, that is something that I'm definitely going to do. I don't feel like right now. I just want to kind of take it in steps for myself because knowledge can be overwhelming, and that's why people be going crazy. Yes, exactly. Too much. Like you see all that shit, you just like lose your like when we watch Eternals. Remember when we watched Eternals and the girl who was Athena? Mm-hmm. She, excuse me, you made me burp. It's like wino, liquor. Gotta put that. But you know what I mean, like how she started losing her mind because she was remembering shit and didn't know how to place it, and she started. It's like, oh, she's losing. She got whatever Ari or whatever they was talking about, but it's like, nah, it's just memories, and like you got to be able to find those memories. Yeah, to find those memories, right? And that is definitely something I'm going to do. That's just not what I'm doing right now. So I feel like
yeah, that's gonna be a big one for me.
Who's somebody nervous?
I am a little nervous about that. I have been for a while.
Don't be nervous, baby. I'll be right here with you.
Would you rather take revenge on a pedophile or revenge on someone who killed a loved one? Let's say you got both of them right in front of you. You choose one. Which one you taking?
Depends on who the loved one was.
He's a loved one. Don't matter.
Just the
difference. You love him. You love him.
The difference between my cousin and my 8-year-old.
It's a loved one.
You take my 8-year-old, I got to get you.
It's a loved one. Don't matter. The love is equal.
No, because this is the
okay. We're gonna say your 8-year-old pedophile, or someone who killed your 8-year-old.
Okay, who did the pedophile fuck?
Probably a loved one, another loved one.
That's what I'm saying. Like that changed. Like if the pedophile fucked my 8-year-old,
your other 8-year-old, your other child.
But no, what I'm saying. But you see how that like
right. He always got. Why you just can't answer them?
Because my mind don't work that way. My mind don't work that way because it's like if I'm looking at the pedophile, he fucked the kid, but then this other person like brutally murdered. Like relative, the pedophile fucked my kid, and then the dude brutally murdered 30 fucking people. That one. You fucking my 8-year-old mean more to me than them 30 people. But so if it was one kid,
a regular pedophile from just a kid,
just regular wood chipper,
and then someone who, obviously your loved one who murdered your loved one. Which one would you take revenge out on?
Yeah, let me think. One dude fucked the kid, the other dude killed my 8-year-old. I got to kill the dude who killed my 8-year-old.
Yeah,
I got to go there because it's like now I'm 100%. I'm OG. Throw the pedophiles in the wood chipper. Mm-hmm. I'm all about that, but it really depends on like. I got to get it in blood if you did something to my baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you did something to my baby, it's like, hey, man, I got to get it in blood. And, it'd be different. Like, if the pedophile did something to, and it's really, to me, that's why I'm saying it's about who did it. Because it's like, if this dude accidentally killed 5 people and this dude is a pedophile, I'm going to kill a pedophile. Like, there's nuance to it. And I think that's one of the things, like, when we was talking.
Not just killed 5 people. He killed your loved one. It wasn't no accident. He murdered. The thing said. What did it say? Go back and say. He killed your loved one.
So what I'm saying is like, killed and murdered is 2 different things too.
It is 2 different things.
So what I'm saying is like, if you tell me like a dude got into a car accident and killed my cousin, and this dude fucked my kid, I'm killing old boy over here. Now, granted, if dude over here executionary style killed my kid and this dude fucked the kid, that's terrible, and I'm probably still gonna kill him too. Don't give me 2 rounds. Like, I'm gonna shoot. If you give me 1 bullet, I'm gonna shoot him and I'm gonna skin him, or vice versa. Like, both of them gonna die.
Yeah,
it's just about who gonna go first.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I would definitely, my loved one, it's going to be my loved one all day without a question.
Whatever happened to my loved one. Like, whatever happened to my loved one is the person that got to go first. Like, if I got to make sure that one person go.
Yeah. You know I'm eye for an eye all
biblical.
Day.
We biblical out here.
So, yeah, that's what we doing. We taking them off the map.
Yeah. Ain't no room for you here, partner. It's either wood chipper for everybody. Wood chipper for everybody. Yeah. If I got to grab a couple chainsaws out and chop it up a little more, so be it. Hey, Fox, could you put that tarp up, baby?
Killing has a story. Fuck the story. It don't matter what the story is. You killed somebody. Yeah, you killed my loved one. I don't give a damn what the story was.
Yeah.
We're done.
Cool story, bro. I might not hear the story.
I don't even give a damn.
You know what? You know what? This is how I might hear the story.
You. Oh, it's you? Okay.
You killed me. Oh, you killed my 8-year-old? That's it. What happened? Well, I thought your 8-year-old was somebody else. God damn, that's
too bad
unfortunate.
For you.
Wood chipper.
Here. So if he ain't here, you ain't finna be here. You ain't finna.
Ain't nobody about to do nothing to my chunky chunks. My little chunky chunks tight. I don't care what you do. Ain't no, but you do something to him, just trust and believe that I'm gonna spend all my resources, skill set, and everything else.
Children are off limits, but if they kill your loved one, you gonna like.
If somebody kill your child, somebody kill your child and somebody rape another child, like I ain't being cold hearted about it, but children get raped every day. My loved ones don't die every day, so it's like both of them got to die.
She gonna go kill the person that killed the children instead of the one that
her child. Except the one who like killed my child. It's like, I'm sorry, I got to go after them, man. Like, I get it, and I really believe that children are innocent, and children are like everything beautiful in the world. Like, they're everything that we should have been, and we fucked it up. Like, I think kids are like that infinite potential, that hopefulness, but. Hey, man, you killed my kid, bro. You out of here.
Hey, blood for blood.
Blood for blood, soul for soul. And to be honest, for real, if you kill my kid, I ain't just going to stop there. Like, whoever raised you, I'm probably going to go after. like your mama, your daddy, your first grade teacher that said you was gonna have a whole bunch of potential. It's like, you know what I mean, your eye doctor who helped you get some glasses so that you could see my loved one better or something like that. I'm clapping everything out here. Round of applause. Everybody got to go. I'm talking about. I am on what's that movie with Gerard Butler with Jamie Foxx? The one with Gerard Butler go to jail and Jamie Foxx is the prosecutor and he killing everybody from jail. Law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
I'm law-abiding citizen out there because it's like after I clap the first one, I'm in here. Yeah. But I'm about to bring the whole stack of cards down. The whole house of cards.
So, guys, that is our podcast today. What we talked about today? We talked about a lot today.
Really, we just had two things. We talked about side relationships, past reasons. We just got in depth with it.
Yeah.
I think we can revisit that. I really want to go back to the past reasons, especially after we do a couple more, especially after I do one. I want to get on here and be like, I'm hooked.
Yo, let me tell you about
Guess what I do every Wednesday?
Past life
Hit another life. And it's crazy because when you think about, like, when you can look at a past life regression, they call it past life regression, but it could fuck around and be tomorrow. It could be fuck around and be in 50 years in the future.
I explained that to them when
when
you went to go take a pee-pee break.
No, I took a piss.
Oh, my God.
Take us out.
Well, that's the podcast, guys, so.
Well, that's the podcast.
Thank you for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner. We appreciate your support and your participation as well. If you have any ideas, any topics you want us to go over, anything you want to say, rant, rave, misbehave. Well, not too much misbehaving because we ain't putting up with that. So hit us up, askunclelegend@gmail.com. Peace.
Peace. Well, unmute them and see what's up. What's up? Y'all got any questions? Y'all got something? That's the end of the podcast. I'm stopping the audio recording. So if y'all got some random ass questions or something like that, because I could easily end this video recording. We went long too.
I knew we was going long. Like we probably should stop at side chicks and then make this one a whole different one.
I don't know, man. It's like I was like excited about it with that past life regression because it's like that's like your baby right there, right now. You know what I'm saying? That was like your baby, and I just wanted you to get a chance to cook and be like, yo, this is what it is. So viewers, who we got in the chat? Y'all got any questions for them? Mainly probably questions for Fox because I'm the co-star today. So.
They heard you talk a lot today. Any questions? Going once. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to think about, talk about, or tell your baby daddy and mama about? What's up?
All right, sound good.
All right, we appreciate you.
Sold.